What's up, everybody? Justin here. We are back for more CD collection. I'm going to jump right in. First, we are listening to Morbid Angel, Blessed Are the Sick. One of my favorite albums, one of my favorite death metal bands. I just got this. Of course, I've had Blessed Are the Sick for many years. But this cassette version just fell in my lap. I'll talk about it more in a new stuff update soon. But Blessed Are the Sick, Morbid Angel, Untouchable, probably their most underrated album. I know people who love Altars and love Covenant and don't like this. It doesn't make any fucking sense to me, man. Morbid Angel, that old shit's fucking amazing. Okay, into the CDs. First up, we have Focal Point with Suffering of the Masses. You will notice that there is no booklet in this. A little story, I used to keep my CDs in a binder, a big black, binder that you can buy at the CD store. And it was a 200 disc binder. And I had every pocket doubled up, probably even more. So there was at least 400 CDs in it. And at the time, this is 15 years ago, that was every CD I owned. And a friend of mine, his car got broken into, and they stole all these CDs. And I thought to myself, if someone breaks into my car, and they take this book, they've got every one of my CDs ever. So I stopped keeping them in that book. I took everything out, put them in their cases, and put them on shelves. But I left a handful of CDs in there of shit that I didn't care about. And one of them was this. And I'm pretty sure the booklet to this is still in that binder. And that binder is in this house somewhere. Still have it. Focal Point were a hardcore band, but most importantly, they were a tooth and nail Christian hardcore band. So this is very kind of ministry rooted. There's a message to it. But it was really kind of dark, metallic hardcore. That when I was 15 years old, I was crazy about it, regardless of them being Christian or not. And I listened to this a bunch and then got sick of it. Shit like this and Strong Arm and early Zayo all kind of goes hand in hand. All of these tooth and nail bands. And I have not heard this in years and years and years and years and years. So, whatever. Focal Point. I don't remember what this sounds like. I'll put a link to below. I think it was just kind of abrasive, so we'll see. Next, we have, this one's interesting, Foo Fighters with Sonic Highways. So a couple of years ago, Foo Fighters did an 8-part documentary series on HBO where they recorded the 8 songs on this record in a different city. And that collage is every city they recorded in. Each episode was them recording one song in some famous studio. And that studio was famous for recording a certain type of music. And every song kind of embraced that style of music. So like, they recorded at, what's it called now? Salad Days Studio in DC, I think. Let me find it. No, Inner Ear. At Inner Ear Studios in Arlington, Virginia. It's outside of DC. So that one kind of has like this DC hardcore vibe to it. But anyway, it was a really interesting documentary. It was really well done. And I'm a sucker to watch anything that has to do with recording music. And I got really enthralled with it, and then I bought the album when it came out, and it's okay. I don't mind the Foo Fighters. I don't dislike the Foo Fighters. I think that Dave Grohl is immensely fucking talented, even though he's incredibly self-serving, and he's got his hand in everything right now. But I think they're an immensely talented band, and this is okay, but I love the color and the shape. And I have it on CD, but I don't know where it is. It's probably my wife's car. Anyway, I'll drop a link below. Then we have A Forest. The Spirit of the Forest. To Bleed Northern Spirit. This is some black metal CD that I've had for probably 15 years. Ooh, we're not going to focus? Let's try this again. Focus. This is on Wotan's Reich Productions, number 39 of 500. I got this in a trade, probably 2003, when I was doing my first black metal project and started trading demos. And I don't remember what this sounds like. I remember it being kind of noisy, like production-wise. But I don't know. I'll have to look it up. So, A Forest. And it's very specifically, they are called A Forest and not just Forest, because Forest is one of my favorite black metal bands of all time. I have 4 of their albums. Forest are Ukrainian, and they are rooted in that Blazebirth Hall sound. For those of you that don't know, Blazebirth Hall is a collective of people, but it's also the name of the recording studio where they recorded all this stuff. And anything recorded at Blazebirth Hall, Forest, Brannikal, Nitberg, Raven Dark, Varglid, all of those bands, I fucking love that style of Ukrainian black metal. And Forest is by far my favorite. So first thing I ever got with them was Like a Blaze Above the Ashes. And this is an EP. It's 5 songs, but a couple of them, one of them's like 16 minutes long. And very trancey, long, drawn-out, repetitive tremolo riffs. And the vocals are what get me. The Ukrainian kind of bark they do with these vocals are just, man, there are few grimmer sounding than Forest. So I have that one, and then I have these two, and I'm not sure of the translations on these. These versions are all in Ukrainian, I believe. But one thing about Forest is they have really rad, like, song titles. There's English translations online, but I love the words they use. I'll put some examples below or in the video. But all this Forest shit is fucking incredible. And then this one is In the Flame of Glory, and it's more war-oriented. Now, Forest gets a bad rap, just like all of those kind of Eastern Front bands do, for being white power or NSBM. And they are and they aren't. They kind of embrace that kind of national ideal, but they're from a place so far removed from the way we live in America. It's hard to explain. Like, I have a friend who's Ukrainian, and he moved to the States when he was 14, and he said that he never saw a black person until he moved to America. And because he was from a place that just other races did not exist to him. He didn't understand it. So it's not that they hate other races, they take pride in their own. But that's not what the music's about. It's hard to explain. But I'll drop some links below. Forest is fucking incredible if you like really grim, cold black metal. But it doesn't sound Swedish. It doesn't sound Norwegian. It has a sound, an identity unto itself. It's fucking incredible. So this next is a DVD, Forest of Impaled live performance, St. Paul, Minnesota, 11/29/03, and I would be willing to guess that Ben Smasher recorded this. I got this from Black Metal DVDs, which later became Pagan Flames, which Ben has a hand in. I have a bunch of these, and they all came in jewel cases like this, but I pillaged them and used the jewel cases for something else years and years ago, so they're just loose somewhere. But this one managed to stay in its jewel case. Forest of Impaled is, Marcus Kolar was in this band. He played bass and vocals. He's also, most recently, was in Commandant. He was in Sarcophagus. He played bass in Sarcophagus for years. Just a tenured Chicago death metal musician. And Forest of Impaled was a really fucking fast, chaotic black death metal band. Sense of melody, sense of brutality. Fucking amazing. One of my favorite projects he's done, and one of my favorite Chicago bands ever. Their album Forward the Spears. I have it on CD, but I don't know where it is. I have either misplaced it or given it to somebody or something. I don't know, but if I can't find it, I'm gonna buy another one. Forward the Spears is fucking great. I'm gonna link to this performance, but I'm also gonna link to Forward the Spears for you. Then we have Fordom with Dora Dura. This topped my favorite records of last year list. And it's not metal. This is more kind of like Scandinavian folk music, acoustic guitars, ambient sounds, clean vocals. It sounds like a black metal intro for, 40 minutes, but man, I fucking love it. Stumbled onto it on Bandcamp, immediately bought the CD, and I love it, man. When it's cold and it's dark outside and rainy, and you just want to fucking relax, man, this shit is fucking great. Right up there with Wolfson's Been that I talked about a couple videos ago. Then we have Frightmare. So, I've mentioned Razorback Records several times throughout this journey, and Billy Nocera, who operates Razorback, is a really good friend of mine. And we've been close for years. Frightmare, their second record, Bringing Back the Bloodshed, is hands down #1, my favorite thing that Razorback ever put out. And so they are a death metal band, rooted in horror, rooted in gore, but Midnight Murder Mania I actually got after I got the second one, and I'm not as crazy about it, and I don't know it as well as I do this one, and I know this record fucking inside and out. And there's so many riffs on this, and solos, and the vocals. It's just fucking bananas, man. It's so good. It's so catchy. And Neil Smith, Maniac Neil, kind of the head honcho behind this band. He's also in Lord Gore. He did Blood Freak. He did several bands. But far and away, man, Frightmare is the best thing they ever did. So when this came out in like 04, I think it was 04, 06, came out 06, Billy sent me a promo. And it was just a CDR with the artwork printed on it and some promo materials, no cover or anything. And I listened to it literally till it, like, the printing wore off the CD. And I always just said, okay, buy you a copy, buy you a copy, buy you a copy. Well, I waited years, and then I started looking for it, and I couldn't find one. And then couldn't find one anywhere, and Billy's like, I kept one copy. He's like, sold them all years ago, I have one, They were never on Discogs, never on eBay. One would show up on Discogs, and it would be $50. And finally, I made a post. Every couple of years, I'd make a post on Facebook and be like, if anybody's got this, I'm looking for a copy of it. And someone tagged Neil Smith, who I wasn't friends with. And Neil responded, and he said, $15, I got you. So I PayPal'd him $15. This showed up in the mail. Fucking amazing. That was a couple years ago. But I fucking love this album so fucking much. And the fourth song, Barbecutioner, Donnie Don't Dance. It's about Don't Go in the House, which is a fucking great movie. The first 45 seconds of that song are the best Southern California melodic punk rock you've ever heard before it just kicks into high gear. It's fucking incredible. I'll drop a link below. Alright, last up for this round, we have 2 albums by From the Depths. From the Depths were a black death metal band from Cleveland, members of Decrepit, members of Nunslaughter, members of Gods from Incantation might have played a part in this, guys from Manticore. So I read about this EP, Bereavement, in Metal Maniacs. I don't know, man. 20 years ago? How old is this shit? 1997? Yeah. So I read about it in Metal Maniacs, late 90s, and came across this CD somewhere. It's only 4 songs. And I bought it, and it's just 4 songs of brutal black metal. And there's keys in it. There's really prominent keyboards throughout it. It's really melodic. There's lots of harmonies and melodies, but it's also fucking brutal. It's heavy as fuck the whole time. God, I fucking love this CD. And that art, look at that fucking artwork, man. Isn't that just some Event Horizon Hellraiser shit? I have a shirt with that full color printing on it. Fucking incredible. Pretty simple. This is a self-release promo the band did. And then they had a full length that preceded this. And then, Jim Sadist, Nunslaughter, passed away unfortunately. He sang on that first full length. And they changed singers for this. And then Elysium is a full length that came after. I want to say this is the last thing they did. Ah, the CD's not in there. Fantastic. That means there's no fucking telling where it is. And this, I'm not as crazy about this material, about the Elysium album. You can't read any of that. Man, why do you make text that fucking small and some crazy cursive medieval font? You can't read it. This is, it's not as catchy, it's not as memorable as Bereavement. It's not as engaging and dynamic, I guess. It just, it's like they pulled in the reins a little bit on the songwriting, but pulled it in too much. And I can't get into that one as much. If I can find the CD, I really need to spend some more time with this one. I'll pull it up online and we'll check it out. And I may be wrong about the order those came out in, but this one, man, this is fucking 5-minute favorites material right here. Like, I love this CD so much. I wish they'd done a full length that sounded like this. From the Depths, Bereavement, all-time favorite. Okay, that's it. That wraps up this round. I've got more coming. I hope you've been enjoying these. Keep commenting, keep liking, subscribing. The more you guys like and the more you comment, the more the videos get pushed out there. The more they're out there, the more people will subscribe. We'll keep doing these. Talk to you guys later.